Today, our group of vintage 4x4s are going to join a big group of modern vehicles on the Maze Trail in Sand Hollow during the Winter 4x4 Jamboree 2024. The ride up to get to the Maze Trail, you follow up. This is called Water Tank Road. It's really more like a wide swath of sand, kind of rally up. Pretty fun going up there. There's our trail leader, Chuck Converse, in his big red Jeep. This is being filmed by Jeff Petrovich in his 43 Willys MB Bam Bam. I just passed by in my 48 Willys CJ2A Grandpa's Jeep, and then right across the way there's Dave Delight in his 49 CJ3A Rusty. Bam Bam's being driven today by Kevin Bourne, and Jeff's riding shotgun and taking a lot of pictures. Basically, you follow this sand swath up to a spot called Top of the World. Turn right, go over, and go down the hill to get to the Maze Trail. This is the beginning of the Maze Trail, a signboard marked by Sweet Pea, the Land Rover, owned and driven by Jesse Combs. Kind of the gatekeeper obstacle on the maze is this one called the drop. This is our leader, Chuck Converse, first one through, showing us how it's done. You'll be able to see a big difference between these large rigs and our small little flat fenders and rovers. Try to introduce you to all the players here in our vintage group. Once again, first one up is me. I'm Stan Fuller, driving my 48 CJ2A Grandpa's Jeep. This is how the drop looks from the top. The first time I drove this trail and drove down this obstacle, it was the scariest thing I'd ever done in my Jeep. Still a bit of a thrill, but it's getting to be more routine. Here's how Grandpa's Jeep looks coming down from the bottom.
Turn this way. Come on now, quick. There you go. Good job.
Next up is Jeff Petrovich's 1943 Willys MB. Once again today, Bam Bam is driven by Kevin Bourne. I think Kevin is 6'4" or 6'5". He's a large man. These World War II Jeeps were not really built for big guys. You can see Kevin's kind of wearing this Jeep more than riding in it. Here's Bam Bam coming down from the bottom.
Turn your wheels this way. Sorry. You knew what you were doing the whole time, didn't you? You scared me to death.
Next up is Dave Delight in his CJ3A 49. This is Dave's first time on the maze and first time down the drop.
A little bit this way. This way. That way. Come down. Turn your wheel that way. Oh, come on down, quickly. There you go. I hate to yell in the video. You had Oh, I got to remember that. I'll have to remember that.
Next up we have, good job, Dave. Next up we have
Yeah, that looks
Tim
good.
Cooper. He's in a 1958 Land Rover Series 1 88. He calls his Land Rover the penalty box. It's a bit of a sleeper. I guess Tim's a big-time Rover guy and does all kinds of fancy tricks to them. This one happens to have a Chevy V8 in it, an LS motor, but he's got it quieted down with a couple of mufflers, so it's sneaky, stealthy. Jesse Combs is in his 1953 Land Rover Series 1 80. 80s for 80-inch wheelbase. His Rover is pretty stock in the powertrain and stuff. He has a few things on there like lockers and things, but for the most part it's a stock rig.
Land Rover. They're S1s.
So you had a pretty big group out there on the maze that day.
Hang this way. Stick over here. There you go. That's the perfect line. Going down. Perfect spot.
This is a little bit of a bypass that we took here. Some of the big Jeeps took a trail or obstacle called Flipper. Flipper is a pretty big climb and a pretty big wall. We decided not to try it on this day. Maybe another day we might put tires on it. So Chuck and those people that tried Flipper will be coming from left to right there in front of us. My sister Amy is riding with me today. Jesse was having a little bit of trouble with Sweet Pea today on this day, and the carburetor wouldn't idle down very good, so I had to keep the revs a little bit higher than he wanted to, so it makes for some little bit more exciting footage. This is Ryan Nichols, our friend Ryan Nichols. He's really part of our vintage group, even though he's driving a 2023 Jeep Rubicon. But he is part of our group. We love him, and I like to throw a few pics of him in to show how the big Jeeps do on these obstacles as well. Sweet Pea. The down part of this is this obstacle is a bit tricky. You drop down this really steep slope, and then you have to make a hard left turn up over a tight wedge, and then another really steep drop. And the second steep drop there, you can't really see over your hood. It looks like you're dropping off into the abyss.
That's what I'm seeing, because I'll belly out otherwise. Right. There we go. Start turning now, or go straight down. Okay. When your tires drop, you let them drop. Turn right. You want to stay right next to that rock. All right.
I got it. Thank you.
That was exciting. Turn right, and then drive out of that. Drive out of it. Can't be scared.
Hey. No, I'm filming.
The Maze Trail is rated an 8 by the local off-road clubs and stuff. That's 8 out of 10. I think on some days it can be more than that, and some days a little less. There's pretty good traction this day. Also, there's some obstacles that you can bypass, go around. This is a fun trail with lots of big climbs like this, and also quite a few steep drops. So it's not very long, but it is really fun, lots of obstacles. The camera doesn't give this particular slope any kind of true justice on how steep it is. It's really, really steep, and then if you drop your tire in one of those holes, you can get even steeper. Mostly I just put my transfer case in low and my transmission in first gear and take my feet off the pedal and let her roll. And you can see Dave coming down in his 3B. He can roll even slower than me. He has a set of Jeff's super low gears in his transfer case. Jeff makes gears for the Dana 18 transfer case that are really, really low. After we come down this hill, the next obstacle we come to is a really famous and dangerous one called You've Gotta Be Nuts. Not everyone did this, and I don't know if I've ever seen an 80-inch flat fender go up it before.
Hey, Kevin, wait up.
I think you heard Jeff telling Kevin to wait a minute in Bam Bam because he wanted to take a look at You Gotta Be Nuts in Bam Bam. We'll see how that looks in a minute. So Jeff took the wheel from Kevin and pulled up onto You Gotta Be Nuts, kind of testing the traction. Second test. Decided that the traction was pretty good, his tires were hooking up. Off he went. This thing is really, really steep and really, really big. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen another small rig do that thing. It wasn't some kind of a side-by-side or buggy. This is one of my favorite obstacles on the maze. I don't know if the locals have a name for it, but we call it the left turn escalator. It reminds us of the escalator in Moab on Hell's Revenge, but with the big left turn in the middle. Kevin back at the wheel of Bam Bam.
Yeah, a lot. Cutting, now unlocking cutting brake, yeah. Working,
Bam Bam has a cutting brake on the back axle. You can kind of see it slide around there, that corner. This is kind of a fun one. Dave and Rusty took a little bit of an odd line and got flopped over a little bit, but he just backed out of it. He still didn't get up there, and his enthusiasm led him to spin the tires on there for, I don't know if he was on there for 2 or 3 minutes. Just kept burning rubber. I actually cut a minute or two out of this video. He must have left like half an inch of rubber on the rocks there. Sometimes those tires will heat up and bite. It didn't this time for Dave. Gets it done this time.
drop it.
Penalty box has no trouble with that first little wall.
Go left here, Dave.
Okay.
Right hand line. Just put your tire in that rut. Yeah, I'm just a little longer, so I can't take that turn quite as well. I've had a tire in that rut. Just, you can.
Jesse forgets to turn the rear locker on Sweet Pea
There you go, you're back
to get up this.
Okay. That'll grab
He burns a little rubber off too here.
Lock your rear. Lock your rear. Lock your rear. Or not.
Back up. Don't close that.
Yeah, that was just a dead wheel over there.
Now stay driver. I need a rear locker. Rear locker helps slide.
I let our group up a little bit easier line to the left until Kevin told Jesse you ought to take the right hand line, a little more adventurous. And Jesse tries this optional obstacle here. Didn't quite get the line the first time. Sweet Pea looks pretty sweet the second try. Penalty box had no trouble. Kind of finish it off with Ryan showing you how it's done in a big rig. It's kind of the end of our day on the maze. I didn't want to leave you with a picture of a new Jeep on this vintage rig video, so here's a flashback to Dave kind of flopping before he got up that obstacle. We did play some more on different obstacles down on the West Rim this day, and I'll follow this video up with some videos of that particular playing around later. Thanks for watching.